All right, that's it. You know what? We're not going to, no intro, cut the intro. We're not doing this. All right. You want one of these? You want one of these? Okay. I hope I don't blow out my mic because I have a lot to say. Broncos lose 27-19 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So honestly, it felt like 27-6. That's probably what it should have been, 27-6, because the offense apparently decided not to show up until the final 10 minutes of the game. And by the way, I do not hear the words I don't want to hear tonight. Hear the words I don't want to hear in terms of excuses for the Broncos. They made it close. They played good in the final 10 minutes. The last quarter wasn't that bad. Do you play one quarter or do you play 4 quarters? Do you play 1 or do you play 4? 1 or 4? How many do you play? How many minutes do you play? Do you play 10 or do you play 60? Just double checking, because apparently some people want to give a pass to this team. They didn't even play a full game! I have seen a lot of incomplete performances in my life. Trust me, I've seen plenty. The Vic Fangio era is littered with them, where you come close, you come easy close. But because of your own stupid mistakes, you getting in your own way, and not being able to play a full 4-quarter-minute game, because apparently 4 quarters is a foreign concept to Vic and his staff, we lose at the last second, whether it be by field goal, touchdown, dropped pass, a pick, anything, it'll happen to this team. And you know why? Because we are led by a coaching staff who doesn't know how to put together a full 60-minute game plan. Let's start with the obvious one, of course. Let's all throw our shade right at Pat Shurmur, because I'm pretty sure plenty of Broncos fans would have preferred that he stayed behind in Pittsburgh. I'm not even going to retake that. Why should I? Why should I even bother with that? Because I have an offensive coordinator who apparently doesn't do any second takes to himself. Seriously, does he not at once think, this isn't going quite how we planned. This isn't perfect. Maybe let's adjust. Javonte Williams had by far the best offensive play of the day, basically running through that Steelers defense and getting himself a ton of yards. And what does Pat do after that? He gets you to the 1-yard line. He is gifting you a free touchdown. And what do you do with it? You wind up back at the freaking 18-yard line. You know why? First off, let's start with bad penalties. Oh, look at that. Stupid mistakes. And we're back and we lose some yards. You know what? Fine. We'll be fine. It's not that bad. We lose some yards. But you know what? Just keep running it. Do a short pass here and there. We'll be fine. And then Teddy takes a terrible sack. Basically backpedaling. Just throw in the back of the freaking end zone, for God's sake. And then it's just a desperation heave, back in the end zone, we get 3 instead of 6. And what do the Steelers do the very next drive? Boom, 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 boom. And they get 6 points. And, okay, my question. The Steelers had one of the worst rush games in the entire league. Or the worst rush game in the entire league. So why was Najee Harris and Benny Snell running through our defense like it was nothing? Running through that front 7. Big open lanes, Najee Harris going over the top. Why did Big Ben look like he at least looked somewhat decent today? He didn't look completely, utterly awful. Vic, for the love of God, I told you, if there was anyone to blitz, this is the guy to blitz. He's one of the most immobile quarterbacks in the league. He just stands in the pocket like a statue, looking all day. And the one time you do send the blitz, you get the sack, and you strip sack him, set up an easy field goal attempt, not a touchdown because the offense can't score in the red zone, and you set up an easy field goal attempt for the Broncos. Congratulations, Vic. Then you laid off the blitz? You just he stood there all day. What were you thinking? Were you thinking he was just going to throw a pick? The secondary can't hold up for that long, man. You got to send a blitz. 4-man rush, 3-man rush, 5-man, something. Anything than just sit there. Oh, and then guess what? The best part about Vic's defensive genius, he puts Von Miller in coverage while they're still doing a 4-man rush. He sends Von Miller, when they go into a 5 wideout set, on Claypool in man coverage? What are you doing, Vic? You have one of the best edge rushers in the league. He is known for making havoc. And you put him, and man, you put him in one-on-one coverage with a wide receiver who's known for good in the slot. He beats him on a slant route. Oh, and by the way, that's like a common theme with Fangio, where he should let Chubb and Miller rush the passer to their heart's content, but he wanted to drag back into coverage. Vic, you have like 1,000 DBs on your roster. You can't just slide one of them into that slot. Caden Stearns, Jamar Johnson. You could even slide one of the starting safeties, K-Jack. Justin Simmons. It's kind of their job, Vic. Their job is to cover people. You slide Vaughn into coverage? What is that? I swear, this game is on the coaching. You know what? I'm not going to say that, like, people say, well, the execution is part of it. Yeah, I will say 98% of this blame goes to the coaching staff. All of it. This is not a well-coached football team. It isn't. Vic Fangio was just sitting there, and he, like this, just waiting in on it. He never uses his timeouts when he needs to, and then he uses them when he doesn't. Hey, Vic, you could have probably just taken one of the delay game penalties, just take the 5 yards, save us a timeout, which would have been useful on that last drive. But no, you had to use your timeouts when you didn't need to, because you can't manage a game clock. You can't a game clock. And this isn't a new thing. Let's not excuse Vic like he's a rookie head coach. He's learning. He's been here 3 years. How does he not know by now that timeouts are crucial in a football game? Pat Shurmur, you said this week you believed in running the football. I saw you say it. Why do you neglect it? Melvin Gordon's a great versatile back. He's practically non-existent now. You don't use him for anything. You run up the gut one time with him. Inevitably, the defense is blitzing, so they can't stop it. Well, I guess the run isn't working anymore. I guess we gotta throw. No! You take the 2-3 yards and you keep going. It's not just about gaining yards and first downs. It's about setting things up for the pass game, keeping the blitz off, which you failed to do. I do not care about that one complete drive that they put together. And they say, well, they got 6 points before. And those were not complete drives. One of those 6 3-points should have been a touchdown, but they self-destructed in the red zone because Pat Shurmur is allergic to touchdowns in the red zone, apparently. He forgot that it's kind of what it's there for. So no, I don't want to hear about that. They put together one complete drive, and then the one drive, I get it, it's a desperation heave, it's 4th and goal, you gotta throw it, though Teddy could have run. By the way, I just want to say this. I don't want to completely blame Teddy Bridgewater. In fact, I'm trying to kind of not blame him a ton. But there were times today where I'm like, dude, stop holding on it. Run with it. Throw it away. Stop scrambling in circles and then just chucking it out of bounds. Something. Anything. I don't want him to just throw it into triple coverage and YOLO the ball. I just do something with it to just stand there. And I can already hear some of the people saying, if we'd have put Drew Lock in, he'd be dead. Stop it. This isn't a quarterback issue. This is a coaching issue. If we'd have put Lock in there, it probably would have been just as bad. Because you know what? The game plan was terrible. The OC is the one calling the plays. This is the same thing from last year. This is why I'm mad. People are like, how are you mad that they do? There's 2 options here. Either you are frauds and you suck, or you got complacent. You won those 3 September games, which Vic hadn't done before. You won the 3 games, and you're good with the rest. What's your option? Which is it? That's it. Those are your 2 options. You suck, or you're complacent. Neither are good. You're frauds, or you're complacent. Which one is it? Oh, you don't have one? You don't have one. Oh, man, how about we decide for you? How about a combo of the 2? I want someone to state with a straight face why they believe the offense will show any improvement going forward. I've been seeing this since Jacksonville. I've been telling you guys about this. The slow starts, the really inconsistent game plan, the lack of utilizing 2 really good running backs. That Peyton is like, here, how about this? You complain that the running backs weren't great? I'll give you 2 running backs that are perfect for the system. And he still doesn't use them! All right, and here's the thing. I am not going to blame George Payton a ton for this for one reason. He gave this coaching staff everything it would need. He said, hey, Vic, you complained about the depth on defense. I'll give you a ton of DBs. I'll give you some linebackers, edge rushers. I'll upgrade defensive tackle. I'll give you everything you need to have a deep defense, Vic. Hey, Pat, you have some problems on offense? I'll give you some depth at wide out. I'll give you some running back depth. I'll help with the O-line a little bit. And I'll even get you a new quarterback, huh? I'll get you a new quarterback. What's the issue here? This coaching staff has been given everything to succeed by George Payton, and they're not delivering. This is a genius move, by the way, by George Payton. And I know the background isn't set. I know it's not perfect. It's a mess. Just like this team. It perfectly replicates today's performance. It replicates this game in the perfect little nutshell. But this is George Payton. He basically just said, okay, I'm going to give you everything to succeed. I'm going to give you everything. And you still can't win games. You still can't win games. I give you everything, and you can't win. Everything, and you can't win. Who's the problem here? It's funny. When they started Teddy and they benched Drew, I'm like, okay, Pat, so you're telling me that their offensive problems were entirely the fault of this kid. And that's what Vic was telling me, too. It was his fault, so we're going to make a quarterback change, and everything will be fine. We're having the same issues, Pat. The same as last year. Nothing has changed. So I wonder who the issue is. I wonder who the issue is, Pat. And if Vic Fangio has to deliver one more message to Pat Shurmur, like, Pat, I need you to fix the offense. Well, it's funny. You had an offensive coordinator that was working with your young quarterback, and things were clicking, and the offense was better. But guess who fired him in exchange of trying to force something that was never going to mesh? Who hired Pat? That's right, Vic. You hired him. So I wonder who this is really on. I know you guys might be looking at me like I'm a little ecstatic right now. This is not just from tonight. I've been having these thoughts for a while, and the past 2 games have confirmed it for me. This team is not trending in the right direction. It is going backwards and fast. This is a coaching issue at every level of this game. I saw a tweet today, and I liked it, that said that if Vic Fangio cannot at least get this defense to perform at a top 5 level, he has no value. He can't manage a game clock, can't game manage. His staff hirings have been questionable outside of Munchak. So what value does Vic bring other than a defensive coach? And the defense is not bad, but they got rushed by one of the worst rushing teams in the league. How does that happen? I get the Ravens. But Pittsburgh? They should have had them for lunch and they didn't. I don't know how it was. I kind of expected this. I don't know why, but I saw everyone was talking trash about how they're going to beat the Steelers this week. I just had a feeling that we would lose this game. I don't know, maybe it's just because I saw the cracks in the foundation going in. I saw all of the inconsistencies, and I knew eventually they would come back to bite us, maybe because they played like garbage last week. I was going to put on the mask again because, the offense is disgusting. I don't want to smell it, so I'm going to hide my smell. I was going to do that, I wish I had. I have little to no hope for this staff going forward. You know why? You have very tough games ahead of you. Raiders, Browns, Cowboys, Washington. Maybe you can beat Philadelphia. Then you go into the bye week. And then you get the Chargers twice, Kansas City twice. And I know the Chiefs just got the doors blown off them by the Bills. But Kansas City is still better than we are right now. I'll say that much. They have the better coach and quarterback. We got the Raiders again, the Bengals, and I know the Bengals. That's going to be a tough game too because Joe Burrow can throw it and Joe can run it. And I don't know if they can dice our defense, then I don't know if we can keep pace. A quarterback change at this point in the season will do nothing. It'll make things worse. And this is why I didn't want us to draft a rookie, because I didn't trust the staff. And they're confirming why. I don't get it. I've been seeing this for a while. I have no optimism that they're going to change and evolve. People are like, well, why don't you have any optimism? Have you seen the last 3 years? It is literally the same thing over and over again. There's no evolution. There's no growth. We make the same mistakes over and over and over. It's not getting better. And if I've yet to see any change in the last 3 years, explain to me why I should explain any change now. You can't change over the last 3 years. Why now? Why should you change now? Well, did you suddenly just, maybe using timeouts when you don't need to is counterproductive. Maybe not running the ball isn't good for the offense. And be aware my yells aren't that great because my throat is hurting. I've been yelling all day. I've had thoughts, as you can tell. I've been reciting this all day in my head. I have no idea what to make of this game. I am not going to blame the players because we gave them everything, and with this much talent on the roster, there is no way this should be happening. People are like, but they're 3-2. It's not going to last. They're not going to last. This team, as it plays right now, they're not going to the playoffs. They will be lucky to even sniff an 8-win season. They'll be lucky to sniff 8 wins. Vic and his staff will be lucky to last the whole season. Pat's probably gone by the bye week, but I wouldn't fire Pat now because what does it change? What does it change? Does the offense suddenly get better? Does everything magically happen? Just poof, bad man's gone. Nope. It'll probably stay the same or likely get worse. I don't want to see Drew play another game. I almost don't want to see Teddy play another game. Are you kidding me? Because with how bad this play calling is, how bad it's been as of late, neither of them are going to look good. I'd rather just play Rippin for the sake of it. This team is, at best, average. We were masked by 3 games. People turned a blind eye to all the issues that a lot of us had been pointing out for weeks. And now they've come to fruition, and the mistakes are only getting worse. This isn't a new thing. It's not like all of a sudden, oh, bad football. This has been happening. We've been playing sloppy football for the last 4 games, and it's come back to haunt us. So I want to know if there are any apologists out there. What's the excuse this time? Injuries? Is it the injuries? Would Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler have changed things? Maybe they would have caught a few more passes. But with this game plan, that doesn't change anything. The fact that they didn't use their wide receivers well in the slightest. What is it? Maybe they just had an off day. Yeah, like they had last week too. Look, I get it. Nothing's perfect. Welcome to life in the National Football League. Why am I mad? Because I'm seeing the same mistakes again. I'm seeing the coaching staff not evolving, not taking a step forward. This score should be 27-6 because for 90% of the game, that is what they played like. They didn't show up until the final 10 minutes. Well, I'm sorry, you don't get to do that. People were like, but they could have won the game. They didn't deserve to win it. They had no business winning that game. They deserved to lose that game. I said if we win this game, it's not good for us long term because you win the game, people are like, see, Pat Shermer did something, and he gets to stay for another week. We had no business winning that game. They deserve to lose that game. Shut up. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's how the staff is still here. And I'm guilty of it too. I get it. We've all made excuses before, but I think the staff is out of it. I don't want to hear a thing from Pat and Vic all week because I fully expect them to lose next week. They have shown me no growth. They've shown me no reason why I should have any faith in them. I don't care who you put out there. Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater, Brett Rippon, Kendall Hinton. The guy from the rec center who can throw 80 yards just for fun. I don't care who you put out there. No one's winning with that offensive game plan. Pat Shermer does need to go, but it shouldn't happen now because what's it going to change? Not going to change anything. This is going to long rant, but I don't care. The Broncos deserve to lose this game. People say, well, maybe it's a wake-up call for them. They should have had woken up a few weeks ago. It should have happened a few weeks ago. And they are not awake. At least maybe the players are, but the staff sure as hell isn't. I don't know what they're going to do. Vic and Pat, they're probably on the hot seat. And we're probably, if the season keeps going the way it's going, we'll probably be picking in the top 10 soon, which means another chance. See, this is why I didn't want to bring a rookie in here, because then that would probably just make things worse. I bet funny thing is, Drew Lock is kind of looking at them side-eyed like, oh, so you thought I was the only offensive issue. Nah, he's probably not doing that. I would be, though. I feel bad for Teddy, though. That man had to bail out Pat Shermer, and now even Pat Shermer's got game plans so awful that even Teddy can't save him. This isn't his fault. Yes, that pick was bad, but this isn't his fault. He is doing what he can with what he has, but he's not given much. Keep in mind their third down conversion percentage is awful. They've been 5 for the last 25 third downs. 5 of 25. That is dead last. Do you know how atrocious that is? It's just... Oh, and by the way, we were dead last in third down conversion last year and in 2019. Noticing a disturbing trend there, Vic. Actually, funny thing. The Broncos, under Scangrello's offense with Joe Flacco, were 29th in the league in conversion percentage. But in those last 5 games when they had Drew in, they actually went to 15th. Because Rich Scangrello knew what he was doing. And Vic fired him. And to see Rick elsewhere succeeding with other young quarterbacks, it hurts. It hurts. I'm not saying Vic sabotaged Drew Lock on purpose by firing Sangrello, but I think Vic got a little too ahead of himself. He's wrong. Vic deserves to be fired. Pat deserves to be fired. And we're probably going to get a clean house. It's weird to say that after 3-2, but I don't see it getting any better. You gave me one reason why I should have any faith in this staff after what they've shown me the last 3 years. Congrats, you beat Jacksonville and the 2 mistakes that New York forgot. What do you want, a cookie? Want me to go to McDonald's, get you an ice cream cone, and say, here, congratulations, you beat 3 easy teams? No one's talking about that anymore. You won your September games and you're fine with it. Congratulations. Good job. Vance Joseph did that too. Vance Joseph won in September. Someone could inform Pat Shurmur that he has 2 great running backs who know how to handle the ball with the run and the pass, and he can utilize them if he'd like to. The reason I am doing this is because I care. If I didn't care, I wouldn't have even bothered. But I am frustrated because it's the same mistakes. And it's not going to get any better because they've shown me no signs of changing. They'll just do the same thing, trot out there, give their tired cliches, and eventually we'll be done with them. I've lost my voice, though it hurts. Avs are back in a few days. Nuggets are back in a few days. It'll be nice to see what, good, competently coached teams do. Hey, Vic, maybe take notes from Malone and Bednar. Maybe you can learn something from them. But you won't do that. Because you just want to do things your way. Fine. It's so weird after 3-2 that I feel this less optimistic about my team. Shows you what the problems are. That's going to do it for this one. I'll do a preview video soon. If I get the chance for a Raiders game, I don't know. That's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.